I'm Bob Zaccano. I've directed the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged. I've been on stage here as Buffalo Bill Cody in Annie Get Your Gun. I've stage managed any number of shows here, like The Hollow and Meanwhile Back on the Couch. My first show here was actually in Anything Goes. I was Elijah J. Whitney and stumbled around drunk and blind for most of the show. I love comedies. I think that part of what we can do in theater is to make people's lives a little bit better, even if it's just for a short time, to take people's minds off of the news or problems they have at work or whatever. And this is a very witty comedy. It's British, so it's very urbane, a little dry, but it spins up into this beautiful ending, and I think it's really and truly a very, very funny piece. Well, one of the big problems is learning timing without an audience. A joke has a waveform to it, and especially when joke follows on joke. If you hit your second line too soon, you miss part of the impact of the laugh. The audience may not even hear you because they're drowned out by the first laugh. If you wait too long, you lose some of that energy in the audience. So it has to be just past the peak that you hit it. And that's very, very hard to do if there's nobody sitting in the audience laughing at the time. So it's teaching that timing. It's also conveying to your actors never to reach for a joke. If something they think is very, very funny just goes out there and it falls flat, you gotta let it go. And you have to also roll with it when the audience finds something hilarious that you don't think is that funny. You have to manage to not be startled by that and break character. So those are all some of the aspects of what makes directing a comedy kind of hard. You have to teach those elements, work with your actors so that it flows beautifully when it's finally on stage in front of people. Slapstick is a very physical comedy, and what you have to do there is convey that physicality without making your characters look pathetic or angry. You have to show that there's still great affection among everyone there, and nobody gets hurt. It's like a cartoon. Where with very dry, witty comedy, it's the timing and the actual lines, the language. The language has to be very precise in a comedy like this, because a line back here will set up a line over here. So it's those key elements. Everything has to really, really mesh. So it's a lot tighter in a lot of ways than a physical comedy. Oh, absolutely the best. They are top-notch, fantastic, truly professional. Heck, some of them were partially off book when we did the first read-through. And they're hitting their marks. They take direction just beautifully. I asked them to do something, to give me something, and the next run-through, they have it spot on. They're all very, very professional. They've been working in theater for a while. In fact, our youngest actress has done a lot of work in high school, and this is her first, what she called adult comedy, although not quite that meaning of the word. This is the first time where everyone on stage is an adult, so that's a new thing for her. But she's hitting her mark. She's doing beautifully. She's right up there with everybody else. and the camaraderie that I see on stage is just fantastic. Be careful what you wish for. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, it's a great place. We get a lot of support. The field that we can draw from for the acting talent is very broad, and everybody takes this very seriously, very professionally, which is, you know, really and truly remarkable, because we're all volunteers here, and the amount of work that the actors and actresses put in and the cast put in just to be able to hear at the end of the show is just remarkable. If you don't come and see this show, you will regret it, because this is some of the funniest stuff that we've put on the stage ever here at Oyster Mill, and it is a remarkably good show.